back to another video on my channel. Today, obviously as you can see by the title and the colours, we've got the pink background, pink and green. Today we're going to be talking about Wicked. Obviously the movie has been out a while now. I saw it the weekend, it's come out, I've seen it a couple of times. But yeah, and I'm just going to go through and rank my favourite songs from the film. And we're going to go from my least favourite up to my favourite at the top of the list. And I'm only going to have one in the top of the list. So like that's like the S tier. The bottom will be like the E, D, F tier. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to put like too many songs in that top bracket. I'm going to have one favourite, and then a few below, and then a few that I think is alright. I've got my list of songs down here. So if you see me looking off the screen at stage 2, refer to anything. I'm just trying to remember what songs there were. The bad songs I can definitely go through first. And it seems quite a universal sort of choice from everyone, really. The first song I think I'm going to put at the bottom is Something Bad, which is the song which is sung by Dr. Dillerman, for those who've seen obviously the film or the actual musical on stage. It's very short. It's not, I wouldn't even say it's really a song. It's sung by, I think it's Peter Dinklage. He was in Game of Thrones, I think. I haven't watched Game of Thrones. But you know, one of those things. But yeah, plays the goat professor who's a goat, Dr. Dillerman. And it's more sort of like a way to explain like what's going on in the film. Just a very quick like musical interlude that him and Elphaba sort of sing together eventually. It starts off just him telling a story, but it's not really much of a musical piece. It is a song, but so that's definitely bottom of my list. And then followed by my second in that tier. I've got two in that very bottom tier that I just don't like. They're either very short and they're not particularly good, or even well done. I've seen the musical, I like the musical, but they're not particularly well done in the movie. And that is the one that the wizard sings when Elphaba and Galinda first meet him. And that is Sentimental Man, which is obviously sung in this film by Jeff Goldblum, who I've actually never heard sing before. Can hit like really nice falsetto notes, I was surprised. But just doesn't hit that good, I don't think, in the movie. I can't remember it from the stage show, but to me in the movie it doesn't just hit the same. And it's very, very short. I said it's just a sort of way to tell a story, I think, more than a bit of, but like, obviously musicals, the music is to tell the story. But there's a lot of musicals that have songs that tell the story, but are also very good, like, individual songs in their own right. And this, I think, is just one. It's not a good song in its own right. It's just there to tell the story itself. So let me just refer, because I can't remember. So I think we're going to go to, like, if that's the worst tier, that's bad. We're going to have bad, good, really good, and then amazing above that. So like these are songs that I think they're good, they're fine, they do what they do, they do half a decent song. So I think Dear Old Shiz could probably go in that bottom tier again. Like, it's not very long, it's just a little bit when they enter the university for the first time. Obviously I'm going to try not to put any spoilers in there for those that haven't seen it, but obviously it's a musical that's been out for 20 odd years, as well as a film that's been out for a month. So I will mention bits of what happens, but nothing spoilerish if you haven't seen it either. But yeah, Dear Old Shiz is probably down there too. It's nothing amazing. It's just a brief musical interlude by the choir when they enter the university. So I think from there, a lot of the other songs I actually really like. So I think we're just going to have maybe something a little bit, we're going to have bad, alright, good, very good. So we're going to move up into the alrights here now for me. And for me, that's going to be, there's two songs. One right at the beginning of the film, which is No One Mourns the Wicked. I think it's a very, like, as a spectacle to open the movie on one of the musical numbers, sort of open the movie. It's very good. Like, it's big, it's grand, it's dramatic. It's got everything. It's got happiness. It's got sadness. It's got like plot in it. It explains like what people have been through. And I said, in this movie, you come in at the end of the story, and then get brought back through the story and walk back through it. So it leaves you a really good like cliffhanger point of like, you start at the end and get back to the end by the end of the movie. And obviously, like, appreciating that more. The song does a really good job of setting that up, I think, personally. It's based in Munchkin, and you've got the Munchkin singing about how no one mourns the death of anyone wicked, following the death of the Wicked Witch of the West, which obviously you will see in the actual Wizard of Oz film as well. You've got a few like Munchkins singing, the actors playing the Munchkins are not, you know what I mean? And then Ariana Grande as Galinda coming in and hitting some like big high operatic notes. I think like as a scene in a song, the whole choreography, it's a big piece, and to open the film, it's like really hits hard. It's not like one of my favourite songs, like it's not something I'd sing along to or listen to, not in the movie, but like as it fits in with the musical, I think it's like, yeah, it's good. It does its job. It's alright. Like, it's there. What it's there for. I got another one as well. I feel like I might have done this one like hard done by. But if the actual song itself was longer, it'd be good. And that's One Short Day? Yeah, One Short Day. And that's the song that is sung when they enter the Emerald City for the first time. It's very like upbeat, very like introducing everyone to the Emerald City. Like, it's a land of like hopes, dreams. Like, it's a positive place to be. Really catchy. Like, the first bit I get stuck in my head the whole time. The One Short Day in the Emerald City. That bit, I get that stuck in my head all the time. I wouldn't know any of the rest of it. That's what I mean. It's not like I wouldn't class it as a really good song. But that little bit at the beginning, that little like hook chorus bit's really good, and like it does a really good job of like taking you through the story of the Emerald City, of them getting there, explaining the lore around like why they're there, and how the Emerald City came to be, and how the wizard got there before they actually meet the wizard. So it sets it up really, really good for me in the long run. But yeah, it's just alright. I said it's not a song that will get stuck in my head. And well, the first bit does, but it's not a song I wouldn't be able to sing you the whole of the like 9-minute song or whatever it is of like telling the story, because it goes from like that one short day to like telling an actual story in the song of like effectively like it's reading a book but it's singing it. It's really good. But as I said, it's not something I would really listen to apart from that like little chorus bit at the beginning, which I do enjoy. So now we're going to move up into the good tier, and I think I'm going to order these like as a, like if we're doing a tier list, you'd have obviously even in this tier you'd have stuff above the other. So like it can be good, but this can be better than that. So I'm going to start off with the song at the bottom of the good tier, and then work my way up to the top of the good tier. And obviously by the end of this, that will leave one song, which will be my like favourite song of the movie. So I think probably in the first song in the tier, so at the bottom of the good tier, it's going to be I Think I'm Not That Girl. I really do like the song, and I think it's probably the song I can sing the most of, like from repetition of listening to it. But I just have at least a few other songs in this list that I like way more, and I know better, and I enjoy more. But I think Cynthia Erivo, all of her singing is really good. Like, she was a really good cast for the film. Like, I don't think they could have cast it any better. I've seen some of the options they had to cast before, and it's nothing against them as actors or singers but she seems like perfect for the part, especially like vocally. She's very, very, she like adds to what originally was there from the original like Idina Menzel versions and stuff like that. She adds to that like and makes it better because she's vocally better and stronger. So I think it was a perfect casting, and just her voice in this is really good, and like the emotion in the song, and like it's just quite catchy. Like I wouldn't believe like this sort of like slow, like emotional song could be like that catchy. But I do find myself walking around the house and walking around work, like under my breath, just singing like I'm Not That Girl, as like a 28-year-old man. So yeah, it's on that list, but I think there's other songs that are really good that just sit above this. And I think after this one, so what have we got? We've got, I think I'm going to have to go for Popular is the one above it. This is the song, I think, before I saw the musical or the stage show, that I knew the most. I just knew it because obviously everyone's heard like the hook of like Popular, you're gonna be popular. But like, and I heard the original, I heard the Mika and Ariana Grande version of that where they adapted it. And like, so that's the song I knew going in. And yes, he does a really good job of it. I wouldn't say like she improves on the stage version, but I think as it's on screen, it has to be different. I think they do a very good job of making it different and how it works on screen, and making it more like poppy and more poppy than stagey. Because obviously it's a movie, it's going to be, you're not going to have the same acting or singing or as you have in the theatre or like for plays. But the whole actual like scene flows really well. I think Ariana Grande gets like the playfulness of the song quite well as well. Obviously, she was obviously sort of been not studying for this role, but she's the role she's been looking to take over on her like, whole of her life. But I think it's a good version. I really enjoy it. The mannerisms, obviously everyone has that. Seems to be the favourite bit I see her on Instagram and stuff, where she says right and slams the book down. Like just adds little bits in. I think it's really good. But there's just songs above it again that I personally really enjoy. I don't think it's fair to put them above each other like in this tier. But I sort of want to. I just want to have like a bit more of a in-depth analysis instead of just being like these are all on the same level, because I don't think they necessarily are for me, like my enjoyment of songs. So I think after that we've got, I think Defying Gravity comes in next. I like Defying Gravity. Obviously it's the like main song of the film. Like it's the one that was in the adverts, and it's the one everyone knows because obviously she was going around in the interviews hitting that note at the end of the song. And it's a really good song. I think said they slowed it down a little bit. I've heard other people say it as well. Like with the unlimited interludes, like I still love it, but I think like that little bit when you're listening to the song outside of the musical, it slows it down. But in the musical, obviously, when you're watching stuff, it makes more sense. But I still think it's a very good song. It's quite like it gets me pumping when I'm listening to it. You know what I mean? Like when you get to the end of it, and it's really picking up. But I think I said their voices mash really well together as well, Ariana Grande and Sylvia Revo. So I think that really helps the song like gel. But as the songs that I enjoy more, like as a musical, I enjoy like really upbeat, happy songs. And obviously it's a bit weird that I haven't put this one further up, but I think the songs I've got left are more sort of upbeat and happy the whole way through, and just like more catchy and more like, I like listening to music to be happy and upbeat, and they're the sort of songs that I like. But yeah, I think Defying Gravity is a very good song. But it's just not my favourite song from the films. Like, I think we're getting into good territory now. I think this is going to be, I think what have we got left? I think we've got 1, 2, 3. So we've only got 3 left anyway. So let's go into my top 3. We're going to leave this bracket and just go into the top 3 bracket. And I'll keep changing this around. This is very much off the fly in my head, how I'm rating this. I just wanted to do a video to talk about Wicked because I really enjoyed it. So we're going to go to top 3. And I think what's left, I think The Wizard of Oz comes in at number 3. Again, I think this is like the second proper song of the musical. It's in like big number. And yeah, it's telling the point of like, it's a very positive song because she's found out there's a chance she can meet the wizard from the way that she is, you know, she was born. And this is the first place she feels accepted. So the whole song is very like positive, even though it has undertones in it of like bad things happening from like stuff she says, but it's all very positive. And like the way it's sung, it's so like she's so open when she sings it. Her voice is like, yeah, her voice is so open and so like just really really good. And it's just a very happy song that I can belt this out in the car like for most of it, or like even especially the end bits where she's singing, where it's getting like really really ramping up. I think it was just really well done. The actual scene itself, the singing, like I said, again, they cast really well for it, so that's always really good. And just the way that she sings and the way that it's set up, it's just a really good song. And I think, yeah, I think the most important things with these songs are, like, obviously, they should add to the stage versions. There's a lot more money going into them, but I think they need to add to what's on stage. You shouldn't be getting a song in these musicals from like the multi-million-pound productions that you get on stage. You should be getting more, and I think this delivers that with like the scenery and the songs and the way she sings and acts, and so I think this is one of those ones where, yeah, I think that's number 3 for me. And then my number 1's probably going to be a surprise for a lot of people. I know a lot of people like it, but I know a lot of people don't like all of it. So coming in at number 2 for me is What Is This Feeling, which I think is very universally liked. Just the choreography and the singing and how upbeat it is, and I think it's just the way that they all pull it off as well as like a cast. They're very all in sync. It's a very like harmonised song, and it's like it's just very, yeah, it's upbeat again. It's just like for what it's about, it's just playful, it's fun. I said, and the whole number itself of the song adds to what you get on stage. You get that on stage, but you get all the visuals, you get all the really, really incredible choreography. That I think what a lot of people talk about how good the choreography is for this dance in particular. So you speak people on Instagram reels and stuff are learning it and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, it's got incredible choreography, which adds to obviously the song. Obviously, I know I'm rating the songs, but I've got to take that into account because then it's got to add to the stage version, and I think this really does. So that's my number 2. I said I don't necessarily have too much to jabber on about some of these songs because like I think you need to go, like, if you're not sure, go listen to them yourselves, or you can listen to both albums as well. You can listen to the stage album and the movie album for the soundtrack. The original stage one with Idina Menzel and I think it's Christian Chensworth. I don't know the American original version. I've seen the British version in the West End, but yeah, if you go listen to that and compare them, you'll see what I mean. Like you just get so much more layers, and obviously you're going to, but that's what it should be. And I think now we'll only have one song left anyway. We're not counting like little songs at the beginning of the film, like where he sings when he's leaving his wife, and then the wizard comes in and has an affair with his wife. We're not those sort of songs we're not doing. Just like the little interludes, ones that aren't actually on the official release of the album for the soundtrack for the musical. So that leaves me with my favourite song, which is, for most of you that obviously know what song I haven't said, you'll know, and it's Dancing Through Life, which is sung by Fiero Tigler, which is also Jonathan Bailey. A lot of people don't like the entirety of this song because it gets a bit scuffed when you go later in, when you get Nessa Rose singing about like Bach and stuff and like the way that was delivered. But I always think that for the soundtrack and the music, I always think the Dancing in Life should cut perfectly at the end of when they're out of the library, when Fiero's done singing, the big like crescendo at the end of that. Because I think like choreography wise, obviously, like I said, I'm like the whole scene is incredible, like the one camera shots of things and the big spinning bookcase. But like I think the way that he sings and plays Fiero is like very, very good. He has like clear like chemistry of everyone on the set and who he's acting with. His voice is like, I don't think I've heard him sing before, but like I was surprised how good his voice was. Obviously it's got to be good for him to be in a musical, but until you hear it, the dancing was really good. Like the whole everything around the scenes are really good. And there's something about this song, I think it might be because like it's one of the only songs sung by like a guy in the films. So it's a song that like it's sort of in my range that I can sing, so I find myself singing it more often as well. But it's just a really good like happy song to say it, basically saying like, don't take life too seriously, be a bit stupid, or be a bit more than a bit stupid, because he has said he's shallow and vain. But you know what I mean, it's just a really happy like upbeat song like that comes into a part of the film where like it needs it before things get like a bit deep halfway through the film and to the end of this part 1. But I just think the whole scene itself is incredible. But the song's really good, and just like how it's sung and how Jonathan Bailey is like as Fiero pulls it off. Like I think it's really good. And again, I said like I've heard the stage version of this song and I went back and listened to it afterwards because I like been a little while since I've seen the stage version of Wicked, like comparatively to the musical. and like it just like has that extra bit of production to it and like buzz that obviously you can't get on stage being like live. And I think it's just really, really good. But yeah, that's probably gonna be the end of the video. I think that's covered everything. There is a bonus track on the album, which is the music at the Ozdust ballroom when they're dancing, when Galinda and Elphaba are dancing. But I'm not going to rate that because I said it's all a bonus track anyway. But I think that'd be somewhere. I don't think it'd be on the bad bit, but it's a scene setter, so it'd be somewhere between the bottom two tiers. There's not really any music to it. It's just sort of like a moment. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Obviously, if you've seen the film, disagree with any of my rankings, agree with any of them, even feel free to put your own rankings below. I said I read every comment, even if I don't reply to them, because I'm mentally inept sometimes. I just think I've replied to stuff and I haven't, or I'll read it and go, I'll reply to that in a bit, and I do not because I forget. But put all your comments below. What your order is, anything you think needs moving around, anything you don't agree with. Obviously, it's personal opinion anyway. I'm not going to take it to heart, and I know no one else should take it to heart either. So if there's the song in the bit below that's like you're like, oh, you should have done this. It's not that deep. It's just what my thoughts are of the songs on Wicked, but I really did enjoy the film, and as much, obviously I know what's going to happen in part 2 because if you've seen the musical, you know what the ending is. But I can't wait for part 2. But I'm hoping the music will be just as good. I'm not sure if they got all the good songs out of the way in this one because it seems like there are some good songs in the second half, but obviously the second half's going to be a lot darker. So there might be a few less songs that I enjoy vibe-wise. But yeah, we'll probably do a part 2 when that comes out this time next year, November next year it comes out. So, but yeah, as always, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you relaxed. Sleep well, and I'll catch you next time.